It's my pleasure and joy to come your way again. It's been a couple of months since we last did an interview, a chat here in Jama FM studios here at the Gateway Abiding Word Ministries. And I'm glad to be back, but I'm sure I'm in a good place to say Happy New Year. It's just 6 weeks, 5, 6 weeks, and the year is still young. And my expectations are this is going to be a great year for anybody who puts in the effort and obviously turns their face upwards to Almighty God, because He sees what we don't see, He knows what we don't know, He can do things we can do, and with Him there are always miracles and all kinds of opportunities for us. Well, we are back here in the studios and we will start our chats. I don't like to call them interviews because the word interview tends to make you a bit nervous. It's just a normal chat. And we are starting 2025 with a very elegant lady. I call her my big sister. And she is a Gambian trained nurse midwife and left here in the early 90s, went to the US and just bagged certificate upon certificate upon certificate in nursing and the conversion courses they have to do, and everything worked in Silver Spring. And after some time she came back and she is here home, been home for quite a number of years and retired but never tired. And she has set up something that I think is of great benefit, but I'm going to let her speak for herself. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Miss or Auntie Esi Nora Lewis. Auntie Esi, good evening, ma.
Good evening, Pastor.
Good to see you. Welcome home. I know it's been a while, but it's the first time in Jama FM.
Indeed.
And are you impressed?
Very much so.
Good. Thank you very much.
Yes. Great
so,
setup.
Esi, you left here early 90s and you've come back. Why did you come back? Because most people tend to go and call a spade a spade. Life seems to be better there, opportunities, and all the things we complain about here for basic living and livelihood prospects and sanity. You never worry about that when you're there. But you chose to come home. Why?
I did. After you've worked hard and you've been running around and doing stuff, for me, it got to a point where I was like thinking about coming back home.
Mm.
And I've had enough. I'd had enough of that kind of lifestyle. And what prompted me initially was a childhood friend of mine who he came on holidays, on vacation to Gambia, and then came back to the States. And he was like, you know what? I'm packing up my stuff and I'm going back home.
What did he see?
He said, you know what? I'm going to retire and I'll take early retirement and I'm going home. The lifestyle, I want that easy lifestyle. I can build a house, a nice house with my retirement money and everything. And life is good back home. I'll be able to interact with my family members, other friends and childhood friends and all of that.
And eat the real benachin.
Exactly.
Not the jollof. The real thing with danka.
Exactly.
And the Sunday soup and the Sunday stew.
Yes.
And when you came back,
but I thought he was joking. I said, you must be out of your mind. What am I going to do in Gambia?
Wow.
And all that sort of thing. He convinced me. He says, I'm going. And he packed up and came in 2017.
All right. Things have changed a little bit.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I can see why he said that.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. Okay. So, because I came in 2016 on a medical missions with my church and family in Maryland. Yes.
I remember that. Wow.
And I saw the need. People need help.
Mm-hmm.
People need medications. People need good health care, quality health care, and stuff like that. But I wanted a niche, something that was different from the norm.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to a few people, and an uncle of mine gave me the idea. He said, you're a nurse. Mm-hmm. You want to retire. Why don't you start a home healthcare business?
Wow.
I said, well, he says, I don't know of anybody doing it here at that time. I said, okay, I'll think about it. I'll pray about it. And I prayed about it. I talked to other people in the US, and eventually I got the green light. I felt I could do it.
So Malaika was born.
Malaika was born in 2018.
I know Malaika means angel.
Yes.
Was any special meaning, or you just chose the name?
I just chose angel. We are angels to help.
Wow. Wow.
Especially the elderly.
Right. So a couple of things I want to know is what does Malaika do? What services do you offer?
Okay.
And to whom?
As I said, I was looking for a niche, and we have a home healthcare agency, but we focus mainly on the elderly, folks.
Okay. Any threshold age gap?
Well, as long as we need help at home.
All right. Okay.
Maybe retired and at home and getting on in age and can do a lot of stuff for themselves, and we provide healthcare for anybody who needs help at home, but mostly the elderly.
Yeah.
And that's how Malaika came about.
And what kind of benefits what benefit does the client have, and what benefit does the family have?
Yes. The client is in their own environment. They're more comfortable. Say, for example, someone was sick in the hospital, got discharged.
Okay.
And they still need continuing care in an environment where they're comfortable, in an environment where they're familiar with, and it makes life easier for them and the carers, those who are caring for them. So that's one good point. Another point is the family members are at ease. Their mind is at peace. Peace of mind. Someone is here, I go to work, but somebody reliable is here to take care of my elderly parent or whatever.
So I take it you're not somebody in for putting older loved ones in a home somewhere.
No.
What happened in other places?
In our culture, that's not something that we do.
Because we grew up with them, and then they grow old, and like once a month, twice a child.
Exactly.
We take care of them.
Exactly.
And I know some cultures where they actually bury them in the family compound around. So it's like a continuity of a generational closeness of thoughts.
Yes, it is.
So
it is.
Can you walk me through maybe family A has their grandfather or grandmother or father, mother, and they want to reach out to you? Can you walk me through that process until it becomes functional?
The first thing we do is they will call. We have a number. We have a listed number.
I think we're probably scrolling it right now.
Exactly. We have a listed number, and on Facebook, and I think we're on Instagram. I'm not sure.
And WhatsApp, of course.
And WhatsApp.
All right.
Yes.
So the number that they're calling, both phone, SMS, and WhatsApp.
And word of mouth as well.
All right. Yeah, okay.
So they call, and once they call, we set up an appointment. We set up an appointment with the family member, and we talk about whatever needs they're looking for their elderly loved one.
So do you meet with the entire family or just the...
It depends. It depends. Sometimes you meet with the entire family. Sometimes you meet with just the main person who will be responsible.
Right.
And so the sponsor, we call them the sponsor. All
right, I'm going to cut it short because I want to dive straight into a question. What happens when you walk in and you feel a pushback? Maybe they expected a man. Maybe they expected the pigmentation to be different.
Okay.
Maybe because of the American accent that comes across the phone when Esi Nora Esi is speaking. Have you ever had such pushbacks?
Not really. I also speak one of the local languages. I still speak Wolof, and I think I'm pretty good, fluent in Wolof.
All of the Aku.
I think I speak better all of than you. But I speak the local language, and I've never had that reaction before.
So you have a meeting with the sponsor and the family, and
then we set up an appointment for an initial nursing assessment.
Okay.
And that's an assessment where a professional nurse comes in, usually a registered nurse.
Okay, which you are.
I am a registered nurse.
Bi-directional.
Yes,
Okay.
I can do it or someone else. We have.
Is that pro bono, by the way? That initial assessment?
Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not.
All right.
But
Okay.
there's a fee.
All right.
For that.
It's like consultation.
Exactly. There you go.
All right.
So we do the initial assessment, and based on the results of the initial assessment, we can tell what the needs of the individual is. And that's where we.
All right. So this is like a case by case basis. Then?
Exactly.
All right. So no one fee is going to be.
No. We have levels of care.
All right.
We have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4.
All right. We'll come to that.
Yes.
All right. So you've done this assessment. Let's say it's level 1, the basic. So what's the next thing? The economics change hands. Your account number.
Then we sign a contract.
You sign a contract.
Oh yes, we do have a contract to sign with the family members.
Okay.
To tell them what the services we're providing, the cost of service, and things like that.
Are there any disclaimers?
Not really.
Yeah, but certainly, I'm sure confidentiality will be part of that.
Of course.
Right. Okay. And then when it's agreeable, then is it ballpark 100%?
When it's agreeable, then a payment is made, and once a payment is made into the bank account of Malaika, then we start services.
So do you take upfront 100% of the money, or is it tiered?
It depends. Usually we ask for a 3 months contract.
All right. Okay.
And
so you feel in 90 days.
90 days.
That can be assessment.
But again, it depends. If some families cannot provide the 90 days, we're flexible.
All right.
We can do month by month basis.
All right.
We can do a month by month.
But
basis.
people must pay.
Yes.
Have you had any scenarios?
Oh yes.
Okay, we won't go down that path.
We had that.
In my business, I have that. Yes. And so money has been paid, assessment has been done, assessment results are out, and you're going to start.
We're going to start.
What do you tell your staff in terms of confidentiality, passion, patience, self-control, love for a human being? Well, what do you tell them?
The first thing we usually tell the carer, have respect for your client.
Okay.
You're going into someone's home, which is not your home.
That's right.
So you have to respect that person's home, respect the individual, and show the person some dignity. The person has to have some dignity. Then you have to prove to that person that you can, you show dignity to the person. You care. The care you provide, you have to show dignity in the care you provide. And of course, there's what we call HIPAA. HIPAA is health information. You cannot. What you see is what you see there, and usually they sign a contract as well.
All right. So it all comes to confidentiality.
Confidentiality, yes.
And so obviously, I'm sure you don't have a situation where the client complained that her jewelry got missing, his watch vanished. One situation.
We talk to the staff. We talk to our staff about all those things as well. This is not your home. This is somebody's home.
That's right.
And even sometimes you find out that I've worked before in the US in nursing homes where you have clients who sometimes have memory issues, memory loss, and they forget where they place their belongings, and then they start saying somebody took my stuff. So that also is something that we're very cognizant of. We're very particular about that. Make sure if there's jewelry, money, or something that you find, let the family member know this is what we've seen. Can you keep it for the individual? Don't touch anything that doesn't belong to you.
Wow.
Even though we're looking into starting to do background checks in Gambia. We're looking into that. Maybe in the very near future, we will start doing that. Because you hire someone you don't know. You just go by what they tell you. I've worked here, I've worked there. Some of them have never worked in other people's homes.
So does that mean that there is another niche for agencies that train this caregivers
Yes.
that you can poach from?
Yes, the agencies, and we're also looking into
I was
that.
just saying that, why don't you do both?
Yes.
Or maybe I can do that for you.
Well,
make some more money, you know.
yes.
All right, so Auntie Esi, the Malaika staff, they come, I'm sure they have their uniforms, they have, you know, protocol, all nice. Is it 24/7 or is it 6 hours, 12 hours?
It depends.
Some people want their space for the weekend, so that, look, I don't want to see this carer. I'm tired of seeing this carer.
It depends on what the needs are of the client and the family. We can do 24/7.
Wow.
12 hours, 24/7 round the clock.
All right.
And then they take a break. They're off like a week. They take a week off, and then another carer comes and takes over from the carer who's off. But it's continued care. We do 6 hours, 6-hour shifts. We do 12-hour shifts as well. Say, for example, you start from 7 in the morning, you finish at 7 in the evening. Sometimes they ask for only night shift. They need someone to do the night shift.
Either of the shifts, what happens to the person's stomach? Do they eat the carer?
Yeah. Yes. This is Gambia.
Okay.
And
Kanyuan.
Maybe not new, but and dinner if they have to do the night shift or the 24/7, because you're living with the family. If you do the 24/7, we do live-in care.
So there's kind of a room there.
They can either have a room or they have a space in the client's room.
And if the bell rings, or if there's they got to be up.
They're there. Yes, they're there. Wow. So that's not a problem. Food is usually not a problem, because Gambians, we are very generous people.
But definitely this calls for a lot of compassion,
yes,
and sensitivity.
Indeed.
What happens when a client is a bit agitated, he doesn't want to do this and stop that? He was like, look, I'm older than your father. Or big pats you, mama. How do you look, you small picking, say they can't
take care of me? Sometimes you get resistance from the clients, which is natural. Someone maybe is ill, and because of the illness, they are anxious and things like that. But we train our carers to have compassion and patience. It takes a lot of patience to deal with people. People are people, especially when they're ill or elderly. Some elderly people are just sometimes difficult to deal with.
So really understood if a carer just said, look, I've had it. I can't deal with this woman. I can't deal with this man. And, I don't know about here, but I know abroad there have been instances where people can even throw tea on your face or
spit at you.
Or spit at you. And the person still continues?
Yes. If that's the case, you can get the family member to step in and assist. There's nothing wrong with the family members being involved in the care of the client. So in cases like that, you can get family members who are familiar with the client to assist. And eventually, the clients do comply. And
wow. And how far is Malaika's reach? Do you go to Mansakonko, or you're just Banjul to Brikama, Kembuje, Bullock?
Well, for now, we're within the GPA area.
Okay.
Greater Banjul area.
Yes. All right.
But we will eventually expand. We've had clients all the way up to Brikama, who live in Brikama. We care for clients.
And of course, so the cost of those ones will take transportation into consideration, fee kind of thing into consideration.
Indeed.
Wow.
Yes, for the carer.
Yes. So here is the question that's been bothering me. Well, two questions. Somebody goes to take care of a carer and finds that it's his old headmaster or headmistress or some teacher that used to wallop him. Does he take care of that person in good conscience? And does he have to keep quiet about it? Or just feel that, all right, now I got you in my hands. Lift your head, you bad teacher.
Well, if we find out that there's this familiarity or connection between carer and client. And if the carer says, well, I don't feel comfortable taking care of this person,
okay, so
and for a good reason,
they can recuse themselves.
Yes,
that happens in the courts.
Exactly. We can get someone else to do it.
Okay,
but because you can't force someone to care for someone who they're not comfortable with taking care of.
Now, what about the sutural factor?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I mean. So there is a family, and maybe their mom is 85, their father is 90, and you have to now help them to use the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not used to seeing your mom sitting on the toilet seat or a commode.
I mean, the care.
No, you're the family member.
You're the family member.
Yes. So you have to look for, call Malaika. But at the same time, the person coming to take your mom to the bathroom or your dad to the bathroom is a stranger. Don't be professional. But hello, is a stranger. Where's the balance? Because if I were asked to take my dad to the bathroom at 85, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I am not used to it. Seeing him like that, this is my dad. Mm-hmm. Let's be like that until God calls him. Mm-hmm. In the same vein, somebody else who is not my brother, not my cousin, not anything, come and be taking my dad to the
person is trained. The person has been trained to do this, and age is nothing. Mm. It's an individual, and you have to provide care for that individual. You're not looking at age, you're not looking at anything. You're looking at the care and quality of care you're giving to this person. Wow. So that's the training they get.
And there's something else, I'm sure you've heard of the Stockholm Syndrome, where it's something like where I think it came from a bank robbery situation, something like that in Sweden, where they kept these hostages for such a long time before the police could intervene. And when the police came to intervene, the hostages had become friends with their captors. So it's the Stockholm Syndrome. So what happens in home health care when this person is just sweet, phenomenally good, to the point that two things. One, the client doesn't want the person to go. Actually, three things. One, the client doesn't want the person to go, the caregiver to go. Two, the client begins to confide in that caregiver maybe more than the family members. And he maybe writes their name on their will. Oh. Where does Malaika come into that?
Well, so far we haven't experienced anything like that, but from my own experience working with elderly people in nursing homes, mm-hmm. It happens. It happens, and it's no fault of the carer who's caring for the person to be nice to the person.
But what if the family says you're playing a game? You're winning their confidence. And because of your own honest, genuine, sweet-spirited largesse, you find yourself at the center of a family squabble. What happens?
I wouldn't want to be part of that, mm-hmm. And I would excuse myself. But unless the client insists that this is what I want to give you, I'm giving it out of the goodness of my heart. Mm-hmm. You get a witness, or maybe get a lawyer who will back you up.
And in a scenario where the family says, "Look, don't step into our home again. Your contract was 3 months. It's been 8 weeks. We are paying you all the 3 months." But then the client still wants you. And you know professionally that your Malaika being there, you've started seeing progress. Mm-hmm. How do you balance that?
You can't do anything about that. If the family doesn't need your services anymore, you're out. We're out. It's in the contract.
To the detriment of the client?
You know, that's one thing we have to be very careful. Don't get so involved that you get...
absorbed.
Yeah, exactly. And there's that kind of relationship where it's more than client and carer.
Yeah, but you know, Auntie Esi, I don't mean anything inordinate, extraordinary. You know, it's like I've seen men a few days ago, last week in my training at the Forbes Academy, somebody brought her son and it was all over the place. Mm-hmm. And there was another trainee sitting there who is a man, never been married, said, "John Mako, took the boy. The boy was calm, lay on him. I was like, man, you're going to be a good husband and a good dad, at least with that. So there are some people who just have that heart.
Yes.
And you give. After all, it's angels. So you give. And you're doing your best. And yet the family thinks, so you work?
You work. If they say it's, we're ending the contract, and they pay you, and they pay Malaika what they're supposed to pay, the difference, we work. We work. It's a family member. What can we do about it?
And they call you a week later?
We go back and provide the care.
Wow.
We go back and provide the care. That's what the client needs. We are there to provide the care. Quality care.
Wow. Wow.
And in the end, that family member will find out that what we've been doing is the right thing. They'll find out. Because we provide quality care, we have compassion.
I'm even feeling your compassion as you speak. Oh my God, I'm feeling the compassion myself.
Some family members can be very difficult. Some of them can be difficult, but we're here to provide care. No matter what, no matter when, no matter where, we provide the care.
Auntie, I know you were in Maryland, you worked many years, you're home. I'm sure there are many more people in and out of Maryland and the USA who will be watching this. I'm going to ask you to look into that camera and just talk to people. You are here, you can deal with the elderly members, the love you can show them, Malaika, and let's do the promo, and I'll do my own too. Everything you say, I say, just talk to them, because I'm sure people are looking for that, and yourself, alongside other Gambians coming home who are just providing the expert care we all need and don't have to necessarily rush there. It's here at our doorstep. Maybe people might not know that you're doing this, so take a minute or two and talk to them.
Malaika Home Health Care is here to stay. We provide care not only for the elderly, but we provide home health care. I mean, your loved one can be discharged from the hospital and they need rehabilitation, and we provide the care. We outsource. We outsource to physical therapists. We outsource to dietitians, and we're here to stay. Get in touch with us. We provide quality care, and we give peace of mind to family members who need it. We do have clients whose children live in the diaspora and are paying for their care.
Okay.
So you all.
So does that mean you have like a US account, or they have to do a wire transfer, or?
Usually we have a local account here right now.
Okay. Yes. All right. And of course there's Western Union and all that can be done.
No.
All right. And so success stories. I know there are plenty, but is there one that comes to your mind that you just say, even if it was just for this woman, just for this one man, I would have come home? Or any ongoing case? Any surprise thank you letters? Surprise Benjamin Franklin dreams?
Yes, not well. There was this particular client. We cared for the client at Westfield Clinic, because we usually do. We sit with clients who are admitted in hospital as well, and we help. We assist in providing care.
Okay.
Sometimes the nurses are so busy, the family members need a carer who can give quality care.
Oh, you can also come alongside that.
We did that, and this gentleman was so pleased with the care. It was a male carer. The male carer just went, just like one of what you were saying, very compassionate, very kind, and interacted with the gentleman, not knowing that the gentleman was dying.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And before he died, he told his family members that he was so pleased with the care that this young man provided him. And the family members were so grateful, and they gave us referrals because of that. We had several referrals because of that.
Now, when in a situation like that, when the ultimate happens and the person transitions from time to eternity, and the carer just breaks down.
It's natural.
What do you do?
It's natural.
Brief them. What if the person says, look, I'm not doing this again. It took too much emotion out of me.
Yeah, no.
This man should have lived.
Take some time off. Think about it. And if you feel that you can't do it anymore, well, you have options. You can go into other areas of nursing. But usually people come back, and carers do come back and work.
How did you get into Nora Esi?
My dad worked with the medical and health department.
Uncle SD.
And then my aunt, Mrs. Samba, late Dolly Samba.
So you must have gone through them, Auntie Olga,
all of them, yes,
all the names.
Mrs. Palmer,
Mrs. Rachel
Palmer.
All right, so you went through the whole.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. And when I saw my aunt came back from the UK with her nursing uniform and the cap and the belt and everything, I was so impressed. And then I started thinking, I said, I want to become a nurse from a young age. Yeah, and I followed through. And that's all I've done. When I went to the US, at some point, I was like, maybe I should change nursing and go into information technology. When information technology had just started. But nursing is all I've done. Yes. Nursing is all I've done.
No regrets.
No regrets. No regrets. Yeah.
Wow. And let me stretch this AC. You get a call from +221 77 something something. Hello? C'est Madame Esi Lewis. Je m'appelle Astou. Je téléphone de Dakar, Mbour. Somebody has given a referral about Malaika. Is Malaika able to help people? And they go, it's just around the corner.
We've had clients, maybe I can switch it a little bit. We've had clients here who needed someone to accompany their loved one to Senegal for treatment. And they've approached us with that.
Wow.
So we provide all sorts of services. We're here. And even though maybe we're not fluent in French, we might look for someone who's fluent in French, a carer who's fluent in French, or Wolof, for that matter, because most people speak Wolof in Senegal. And because we're looking to expand into Africa, into other regions in Africa.
So your carers will generally be doing general caring. You say you outsource physio and
dietitian.
Okay, dietitian will come on. So do they give injections?
Yes. If the case, it's the case by case situation. If the need arises for someone to get an injection, we have professional nurses, like registered nurses or licensed practical nurses, we call them SENs here, who provide that care. And we also train our carers, the nurse attendants, to give insulin injections, because that's just for the skin.
For diabetics.
Yes, for diabetics, and we train them as well.
All right, so this is going to be a bit touchy, but I'm going to situate it in what I do also in business. In the Forbes Academy, where I train my academy on public speaking, public communication training, we do 3 segments of our training. And AC, you were gracious enough to come for the program. You will remember that in segment 2, one of the topics, the second to last topic in segment 2 is dress code. And part of what we do in dress code, we come to things like personal hygiene, body odor, and things like that. Very touchy. But there are some people who are very finicky about things like that. Somebody's going to take care of them. They don't want to be having armpit odor around them and things like that. Do you touch on that, or you just say, well, look, you're a professional, you ought to know the ethics of this profession?
We do.
You do?
It's all part of the
orientation?
Orientation. when they come in.
And do you get pushback?
No, not at all.
Oh.
They accept it because first impressions go a long way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I tell them that first impressions go a long way. Make sure you change your uniform every day. This is Africa. The temperature is different. It's hot. If you have 2 sets of uniforms, wash one, iron it, or if you don't have an iron, wash and hang, and make sure it's clean. And you take care of yourself, your grooming and all of that.
What about punctuality?
Oh, yes. Because clients, family members are depending on us.
Yeah.
Because sometimes a family member is waiting for the carer to be there on time for them to leave and go to work if they have to go to work. So punctuality is key, and it's something we don't condone. We don't condone lateness or even, absenteeism when
it's unavoidable.
It's unavoidable,
and they'll have to at least
give us notice so we can get someone else.
A replacement attempt.
Yes, yes.
So if you have to fire somebody for any of these mistakes, I should call them that. Punctuality, body odor, courtesy, patience,
courtesy, and absenteeism, and also we had a carer who went behind our back and borrowed money from the client's family without us knowing, and we said that's a no. You can't do something like that. So we had to let that person go.
So having said all that, no regrets.
No regrets. I'm happy to do what I'm doing, and it's here for the long haul. Malaika is here to stay.
So as we begin to wrap this chat, Esi, if you had continued in the US, the dollars would be rolling, life would be cool, no network, no internet, no CFR tumbling and all the things that are happening, traffic jam around the roundabouts, life would be sweet. And definitely you would be making an impact. But your impact is felt a lot more here. Talk to 2 sets of people for me, ma'am, before you leave. One is to the diaspora person who is deciding to come home, because I'm sure you had re-entry issues, landing issues, because like, what happened here? These people are eating breakfast before. You had issues like that. You had issues of maybe trying to maintain professionalism where people just wanted to be married. Not only auntie picking, must come and had me so food. This kind of familiarity things that happen. And then talk to the person who says, look, Banjo, love them from afar. I'm good. Because you're American.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Gambian.
And you've come. It's just that you cannot be a minister.
For me, home is home. Home is home. I have that
where you are born or where you are?
Where I am born. I love Gambia.
The neighbor button.
I love Gambia. For some reason, I come home and sometimes I get frustrated. I'm like, this place, but it's still home. I leave and go back, and I want to come back. 2 months, it's too much for me out there. I want to come back home.
So what about the person who's going to come, but, look, it's just not going to work. Those guys.
It's their choice. You can't force someone to do whatever they don't want to do. But
it's also homework they must make.
You have to plan. You have, when you get to a certain age, you want that peace of mind. You want that stability in life. All that. What's it called? The
hustling up and down.
Yes, it gets to you.
D train.
Yes. So if you really want to come home, you have to sit down, plan. Are you going to get your pension? Are you, get something back?
And sacrifice too.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not USA.
It's exactly. Yeah. It's different.
But
you have to psych yourself up. Prepare yourself for that. And I did to a point, and of course there are frustrations here and there.
Yeah.
But I've adjusted, and a lot of my friends also have adjusted. Those who have retired and come home. They're here. People are coming back home. People are coming home.
And to
You go, you get what you get over there. You're trained. You have all whatever you have. But home is home. You want to give back. You want to give back.
So Bill Gates gives Malaika Home Healthcare Agency $1 million. Would you stay here or are you going back?
Staying here and using that $1 million here. People will get jobs. Because we want to build our community, give back to the community, give jobs, and provide other areas of other things that we're thinking about expanding with Malaika. A training school, and maybe transportation.
I love that.
Transporting the elderly.
Okay,
to their doctor's appointments.
Like those buses they have in the US.
Yes, or even taking them out on tour, going out and doing tours and yes, in the community.
Oh, a lot of things going on in your head. Huh?
Oh yes, it's just the money.
Let's support our own. That's what we do. That's what we do. They are coming home. People like you, some of the people in the medical pharmacy areas are coming home.
Yeah.
And it's going to rise to a point where we have that critical mass to say, look, if you can't get it from A, go to B, and B to C. Look, I have this client. Can you do that? And then we'll probably begin to get the kind of healthcare that we expect outside at a fraction of a cost. At home with the home environment.
In fact, we have a memorandum of understanding with another Innovax.
Wow.
Yes.
With Dr. Baji.
Dr. Baji.
All right.
Yes,
okay.
We do. And they've sent us a few referrals.
Oh, well, so that's what I'm saying. So IGH, Malaika, and others, and if your carers, you want them to speak properly, bring them to the Forbes Academy.
Indeed. Sure.
Last question is, before I let you go, I think I've said last question, but let me ask you this question. Most of the diaspora Gambians coming home tend not to have a soft landing. And for some reason, I did a Discovering Truth telecast on this after the 2016 elections. And present president was sworn in first in Dakar, and then on Independence Day or thereabout here, 2017. And a lot of diaspora said finally they could come home for obvious reasons. And I remember doing one of my Discovering Truth telecasts saying that, guys, watch out. The Gambians coming home are used to punctuality. They know how to put their money where their mouth is, a sense of professionalism. They know how not to mix professionalism and personality. They don't malice malato or they are business-like. It's not life, it's not, because much as we're a lovely society, I keep wondering if every person went to every funeral in this country, you hardly wouldn't walk. Funeral, engagement, weddings, and all the other things. So sometimes you come home and you wonder, man, what's this? How is this economy going to rise? Is this how we're going to live? And sometimes it becomes a little fight. There's a pushback from those of us who have stayed back. Who stay come? For all our 12 fish, you go America coming. And yet you have come against every advice from everybody else. Just stay here and enjoy your life. What do you say to the Gambians, we who have stayed, how we should relate to you who have come back?
Change is not easy to accept for some people. But I would say positive change is what we're looking for. I've heard comments from certain people who say, when I talk about all these things that you have mentioned, lateness and punctuality and professionalism and all that sort of thing on the job, but we've been used to doing things the way we've been doing things before. I say, yes, you've been used to it, but there's always a time to change. And this is the world is changing. The world is changing. We cannot live in the dark ages and be doing what we've been doing and expect to progress. So we have to accept change and positive change too. And I think we've come with ideas. Most of us who've come from the diaspora, we've come with good ideas because we've worked. You work hard for your money. You don't have. There's no time for you to be absent from work. You're absent, you're fired. After they give you warnings and you still.
And you packed out your brown box.
You're gone, and somebody replaces you. So we have to understand that the world is changing, and we have to change as well for the better of this country.
And sometimes the Gambians at home always say that maybe you guys are too fast, you're too pushful. So maybe they will be saying that, okay,
well, after a while, you slow down a little bit. You know what it's like. It slows you down. It slows you down. The pace here slows you down. I remember when I just came, I went to the bank, and there was no queue. People would just cut in front of the line, and the teller will this is not right. And I'm driving in traffic. They're cutting. I said, look, I don't want to have high blood pressure. I don't want my pressure to go up. So sometimes you mellow out a little bit. You accept. Sometimes you accept it just for your sanity's sake.
But that's going to take a long curve if we are going to be a competitive nation.
Exactly.
So we really have to just shake the system.
We have to.
And let's keep going.
Yes.
Wow. Actually, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Malaika Home Health Care Agency here in the Gambia. They've been operating for a while. I just felt as we start 2025, let me use our own small platform here. Jama FM, transforming minds, shaping the thinking of people, and showcasing what Gambians, our own people, are doing. Esi could stay in America, rack the dollars, and just come on holiday and paint the place red and go back. But she came home, and many other people have come home. And one of the best things we can do is just lend support. So for those in the diaspora, wherever you are and you're wondering what's going to happen, there's so many things happening that people paying their medical bills through some agencies so that only the medications go to the family members. So there's nothing about the money missing here. People are doing it for condiments, for livelihood, for rent, and what about taking care of the elderly? Malaika, I'm sure they're not the only one in the country, but tonight is Malaika's turn. And Esi, thank you so much. I'm sure you're going to get calls, your Facebook, your website, it's all being scrolled. And I'm sure the elderly will be happy with you for what you're doing. Thank you so much, ma'am. My own is just to say, may God bless Malaika.
Amen.
May God prosper it.
Amen.
And may this program just enlarge the scope of what you do, ma'am. It's been an honor having you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Pastor Forbes.
Thank you,
it's an honor and a privilege to be here. And thank you for what you're doing. This is a great outreach. You're reaching out to the world. And especially to Gambians here and abroad and everybody. So thank you for what you're doing, and may God continue to bless Jama FM.
All right, pleasure. Well, folks, this is it. Next week, maybe we'll have someone else, but please just do us the honors of spreading this around. You can reshare this on your social media platforms and groups, your health care groups, and reach out to Malaika Home Care Health Agency, Home Health Care Agency, and you won't regret it. Have a good day wherever you are on this globe. God bless you. We'll come your way shortly. Ciao. Thank you, ma.